welcome back or welcome. If this is your first time visiting, my name is Tina Hurley, the founder and CEO of Less Leg, More Heart, a charity that helps amputees. But in this platform, a humble host that just brings health and wellness experts and stories of inspiration to you, vetted goods and service providers, so that you can live a better life, be more educated about topics to improve your wellness, and hopefully direct you to just, evaluate your circumstance and your life in a way that puts you on a better path. Today's topic is so exciting because it's relatable to everyone, and it is healthy foods. We all are busy. We're running around. Fast food is everywhere. Processed foods are the entirety of the supermarket with the exception of the perimeter for the most part. And so there's so many reasons that we don't choose, whole foods, healthy foods to get through our day. But I have an expert in holistic nutrition and someone that writes customized plans for people based on their medical conditions and their current goals. And so there was no one better to bring on to guide us through this segment, to teach us about healthy foods and things to avoid than Hanna Bauer. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm so excited. This is so awesome.
And look at all the things you brought.
I know. This is amazing.
Before we started taping, we got this machine What is this contraption?
So it's a juicer.
Oh. I'm going to pretend like I don't know.
This is a juicer.
Okay.
This is a juicer. It's where I juice all of my good stuff. You can juice anything. People think, it's got to be orange. It's got to be celery. You can juice literally anything.
So for those that don't know, I don't know how you don't know, but you put the stuff here, the fruits, the vegetables, the seasoning. What was the spices? What's parsley?
Parsley is like an herb.
Herb is the word.
Garden thing.
You put those in the top, and then it just emulsifies it, takes all the pulp out, and then all of a sudden you have this liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Today we did celery.
So we did some celery.
So we're just drinking our hydration right now. But you can really do anything. So the segment's on healing foods. Yeah. So we've got some things here that are very healing. For instance, you'd think, a banana, I could eat this. You could eat bananas all day long.
But you know what? They've been villainized.
They have been villainized.
Because people say they're high in sugar.
Right.
There's nothing else to it. Why do you want to take a bunch of sugar? And people will say, well, it's not added sugar. It's, fruit sugar.
Right.
And then in school, they teach you, well, fructose is fructose.
Right.
So those have been villainized to me.
They have been villainized. All fruit's been villainized. So one thing that I learned in my studies of the medical medium, Anthony William, is that fruit is always villainized as too much sugar. It's like, why would I eat all this sugar? But it's the sugar that the body needs. So for instance, we've got bananas. Bananas' healing properties include their liver's favorite source of food. They're antibacterial, anti-yeast, and antifungal. So you eat a banana, you're really feeling good. You're sick, you eat one of those, you're great.
So I have a toddler. I'm just going to start munching on this one while we keep going through this.
I love that. You need that. And then apples. Okay, so we got apples here. Hydration for the liver. It's so good. They taste so good, and they almost taste better recently to me.
Everything you bring up, I feel like I need. So by the end of the segment, I'm going to be jumping into a wagon to get wheeled off the seat.
Yeah, it's amazing. Right. And then celery, for instance, what we're drinking right now, people say, celery's got so much sodium. It's got this, it's got that. Yeah, you got your celery stick. You've got your sodium, but the salt clusters in celery help to remove toxins within the body. So celery specifically, the cluster salts rip and strip the liver of viruses, bacteria, and fungus. And you're thinking strip the liver. That seems really like that would be harsh. It's not harsh, but the body has so much gunk in it that it needs something strong enough to be able to remove it out of the liver. It purges the liver while bringing the temperature of the organ down and restores the bile production. Wow. So when your organs are too hot from metals, which is a totally different thing, but you got metals and pollutions and everything that the body has inside of it, you need something that is able to remove those things from it. So something as lemons and ginger or apples or celery or bananas, they are villainized, but they are the thing that you should be starting your day with every single morning.
Everybody says celery is empty calories. So I'm going to tell you my naive, but current, maybe grander thought in less educated societies about this kind of stuff, right? Is celery for me, I would eat when I was younger and athletic, trying to minimize my calories, and I would put something like an almond butter on it to get my high fats in on a low calorie medium. And then lemons, sometimes I use them, and usually I would use an essential oil because someone said that at least you don't have to worry about the dirtiness of the rind. Ginger, never muddled with it. Didn't really know what it was in the grocery store and didn't know how to get to it because I had no idea how to husk it or what that process was. So that's interesting to know.
I can tell about that.
And bananas are great. Apple a day keeps the, doctor away, but sugar, fructose, right? So I think the big thing about this segment is redefining what a good food, healthy food is and why, based on conventional, we call it wisdom, but lack thereof sometimes.
Definitely. And I think a lot of the foods that we are told to eat, such as eggs, they're high in sulfate, they're high in protein. Eggs are one of the worst things for the body. And people will say, well, that doesn't make any sense. But eggs fuel viruses in the body. So EBV, strep, the liver, it fuels viruses. So when you're eating eggs, you're constantly fueling the virus that is slugging your body down, that is ripping your liver apart. Or dairy or wheat. People think, well, I'm going to give my kids whole wheat bread. That's so healthy. But wheat in America and wheat here is poison.
And you know what's crazy about this too? I was working with a family recently that has WIC, Women, Infant, Children. It's a federal funded program to provide nutrition to women that are pregnant or have children and their children that have the nutritional needs. And they provide them with a monthly allocation of specific items in the grocery store that they can purchase under federal budget for the health and wellness of their child. And do you know what one of the staples is? Cereal, whole wheat products, non-organic, sugar-added fruit juices. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's the misconception and misinformation, as you said. And a lot of people have this idea that eating healthy and eating healing foods is really difficult. And I get that. I completely understand that. And I grew up in a home, my mom was this amazing cook. She loved organic food. She did an amazing job with food. So I grew up in a setting that I could understand food. And I had a background and we traveled. So I'm very culturally got the foods and all these things. But some people don't have that luxury of being born into a home. My friends are like, oh, we had mac and cheese for dinner, or we had this. I'm like, my mom would have never served that. We had Brussels sprouts on the grill and chicken and rice, and that was our dinner. So it's easier for me, but I want to make it easier for everybody else. So somebody that comes from a home like this, it's easy, but somebody who comes from a home of fast food or comes from a home of
low income,
or just this idea of keto or high protein, high fat, like the worst things for the body. But people are trained to think that that is what you need, that carbs are bad. No, carbs are amazing for the body. So just kind of like coming up with some, easy ways to eat healthy and feel good and not break the bank and not take 7 hours to prepare something.
Not gonna lie, I feel like I'm on a tropical island right now. Like there's something about the textures and the colors and the smells from what I'm just sitting around that just feels good too. Like it just feels good.
I love that.
Celery kicking in.
I love that. And so actually speaking of my mom, this is one of the recipes that she had shown me and it's called the citrus salad. And it sounds really basic. This one here. So I put spinach in it, but you can take this out. So spinach, or you can do Boston iceberg lettuce. You can do really anything you want to do.
Ooh.
And you put in grapefruit, you put in orange and lemon. And so it's...
That's not hard.
No, and chicken. So if you want protein, you can just add in chicken. Super easy.
What do you think about rotisserie chicken?
Love rotisserie chicken.
So you can just shred it off.
Honestly, I love rotisserie chicken. I'm not sure the nutrient benefits of it, but I would eat a rotisserie chicken whole right now.
It's better than fast food.
Yes.
So what do you do with this?
So you basically take your lettuce, you put it in a bowl with your grapefruits and your oranges. You can put apples, you could put bananas, you could put anything in it. But citrus-wise, it's just, this is a super basic salad. And then the dressing that I have made here is from juicing the ingredients in the salad. So your grapefruit and your orange and lemon together with olive oil, vinegar, and Himalayan pink salt with a little dash of honey, because you think that, the citruses will be sugary, but they're a little bit tart. So you create this little dressing.
So you're chopping up some for the salad and you're throwing some in the juicer to throw in the...
And it's easy, and you can double dip for say. Is okay, well, I used this, but I can use this for the dressing and I can use this for juice. And while I'm making this, I can also drink grapefruit juice right now and use all the products that you're going to use. So this is a really simple salad.
Are we doing it?
Yeah, we can do it. And we just pour a little bit of this because it goes a long way. And then we can just, obviously don't have tongs here, but you just kind of mix it all together.
We're going to do more segments like this.
It's so good. It's so good. And avocado in this is delicious. You could do a lot of things with this. This is just a very simple version of it. There you go. Go for it.
I'm going to take a bite. Do I need to get like...
You can get anything.
Is the ratio important?
No.
All right.
You just got to do it feels good.
I love it.
Always. Got to do it feels good. Like, love grapefruit. It's like good and it feels good when you eat it. You're like, oh, okay. My body is responding to this.
It's refreshing.
It is. And it's so easy to make. And it's people will like this. Kids would like this, honestly. I don't want to speak for kids, but like...
I don't know.
Not toddlers.
I would love to say my 2-year-old would love it. And I hope that he would, especially
if he likes oranges and grapefruits. But it's a little bit more appealing than something like a salad with tomatoes and onions and all these things you get at restaurants. You're like, that's boring and gross and heavy.
It's heavy. This is light. This is refreshing. This is...
Yeah, and the dressing is important too. So a lot of dressings and salads, they're just stocked with things. So if you make your own dressing... Another staple of my mom's, love her so much, she's like the inspiration behind a lot of these things for me, is olive oil, vinegar, lemon, and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. The most amazing salad dressing. You'd think, oh, that's easy. It's like not that hard. Or replace your Parmesan cheese with pink Himalayan salt.
Nice.
Pink Himalayan salt is amazing for the body. It's great for the skin. It's like
so
amazing.
If you had 3 vegetables and 3 fruits that you were only allowed to take with you into an isolated apartment for a week, and you had a juicer, you had a cutting board and a knife.
Yep.
But that was it.
Yeah.
What would you choose? 3 fruits, 3 vegetables.
I would choose 3 fruits. I would absolutely choose apples. I would absolutely choose... This is honestly kind of hard for me.
You're like all of them.
Dragon fruit.
Okay.
I'm a dragon fruit girl, which has, I can tell you right now what it's got.
Us.
So dragon fruit, otherwise known as pitya or something. I'm going to get murdered for that. Sure. But basically, brings cells back to life, rejuvenates the liver, and it helps the liver to slow down aging.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. Like, it's amazing.
Is there like a bulk buy option on Amazon?
Yeah, you can go to Whole Foods and get the frozen little packets. They're incredible for the liver rescue smoothie.
Nice.
I would say for fruits, I would say apples. I really like apples. And if I was to put lemons in that, I guess lemons. Would lemons be a fruit? Maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
And then, okay, so for veggies, I've been loving carrots lately, juiced carrots.
I know.
Delicious.
They are. They're sweet and delightful.
Delightful. And then celery, of course, which I love. And then some type of leafy green. I love spinach, or arugula is delicious. I love that. Let's see if I got anything on arugula.
All right. Well, you accepted the challenge and you did well. The other thing that's poking out to me on this table, and I think some other folks may not be experienced in it, is ginger.
Oh, I love ginger.
I love ginger too, but I didn't know what it was before. I knew what ginger was on the side of sushi, which is very different than this ginger.
Very different.
So tell folks about it.
Sure.
How do they manage it, prepare it?
So basically, ginger looks really scary, which I completely understand. You take a little piece off and you take a spoon. I wish I had a spoon with me, but you basically just take the spoon and start to literally scratch at it, and it comes off like
it's like you're peeling it, but with a spoon.
Right,
lightly,
and it's easy. You just take the little, when they say nubs off, and you just go like this, and you just take a spoon. It's really, really simple once you take the nugs off, but it's really difficult with all of them on. So just, I would say to separate the two, ginger is amazing in water, but it's amazing juiced. Ginger has all of these amazing properties and enzymes. So
Hanna got me doing, and I'm addicted, as are all of my neighbors right now, to lemon ginger cubes. So you take lemon and you take ginger and you run them through the machine, the juicer, and then with everything that comes out, you pour it into like a silicone tray with like the little square ice cubes, that you would make. And then you just pop one of those into like a Yeti once or twice a day. And it is the most refreshing feeling. Like it sustained energy through the day. I feel like my skin's been brighter. Like there's been a lot of things, in maybe improved mental clarity, unless that's just okay.
Yes, it does.
Like I've been feeling that, and I'm not sure if it's a random thing, but
ginger specifically is like the best thing ever. It's literally just enzymes. It's just anti-inflammatory. It also is really good for digestion. Digestion wise, it is amazing if you've got leaky gut, or you've got sluggish liver, or you just have trouble with bowel movements or GERD, anything. Ginger is just really relieving to the body.
I feel like Instacart has been knowing that I've been ordering too much of that. The first two, like you buy frequently, would you like to buy again, is like 4 pounds of ginger.
Yeah, I'd love to buy 4 pounds of ginger.
It's getting out of control.
It's amazing though, and it's got that like spicy flavor to it. So it gives it some dish. It gives it just an extra flair. You could also put ginger in this dressing or ginger in the salad, and it would be
zip it up.
Top notch.
Nice.
But it's really, really amazing. And putting in these foods, you think, oh, well, I see all these at the grocery store. It's really easy to implement in. So the misconception of fruits is real. It is real, but to try to just re-educate yourself. And the medical medium is really my source of information. He's an amazing source of information.
And you can find that information through Hanna's website. Yes. When you go there, she links directly to some of the medical medium-based stuff that she follows as the primary way that she navigates the information out there that's on nutrition. And obviously it works for you.
It does.
I mean, not just physically, you have a very healthy looking body, but you're glowing and you're happy and you're motivated and you're clear and all these things. Like, it's always hard to take advice from folks that don't necessarily practice what they preach, but you very much are submerged in the art kind of this practice, and it's done things for you personally, and that personal attestation and testimony is more powerful than I think any information that you can get. So people go to the store, they buy a bunch of produce, because to be fair, like if you think about this and all of this in a couple of bags, in addition to all of the other things that you have to buy, it can feel daunting to add all of that weight, and then each of them have to be washed, and you have to cut them, and you have to How can you make people feel a little bit better about some of the labor of love that comes along with implementing this kind of a healthy lifestyle?
Sure. So I see a lot of things online about the way that people clean their vegetables and do things. I do a quick rinse, honestly. Like, I know that that's probably, some people are gonna be like, oh my God. But I have found that I just do a quick rinse. I chop things really big pieces. So if I'm juicing, I chop the apple in 4 big slices and throw it in and call it a day. If you're getting all these lemons, you're like, oh my God, I have so many lemons. You cut them, you put them in your water. It's like, it is really daunting, but to just take the small steps to implement them into your diet. Don't start huge. Don't go to the store. You can, but I would not recommend going to the store and getting 75 different fruits and vegetables, especially because they go bad, but just to try a couple of things and see what you like. Even simple adaptations of cilantro, parsley. People have no idea the benefits of these foods, and to add them as a garnish or add them in changes everything.
What are those?
Okay, so we got some good things.
Because I want. It's nice to say that it's good for you, but you have really good information about each of those.
So cilantro binds to heavy toxic metals in the body, clings to troublemaker foods, which we'll touch on, and expels them safely, which is really important, because if you're doing laxatives, you're doing things, think about how harsh it is on the body. You need things that go in and cleanse it out, but in a nice, safe way, and the body needs that. So cilantro helps to cleanse the liver as well. Okay. Huge amounts of things. It has amazing other properties, but these are really the main ones. We look at something like garlic. Garlic is an amazing additive.
Eat more banana.
It forces pathogens in the liver to back down and kills off pathogens within the body.
It bullies off them.
It says, see you later, like it's gone. Parsley, like I had mentioned, rejuvenates the liver and purges the gallbladder. You put a little bit in here and there. These are huge differences you're making for your body, because it recognizes these things.
And you feel it.
That's
the difference, right? It's like you feel better in that session, that evening, the next day. There actually is like a discernible change that you feel. Yeah. And that helps to create positive encouragement for you to continue going.
Absolutely.
You mentioned something.
Yes.
About negative foods.
Yes, troublemaker foods.
Naughty foods. Let's get into naughty foods.
Yes. So troublemaker foods are, once again, misconception. So we've got the 5, which I studied, and also my holistic doctor is very big in, but eggs, and people are going to hate me for this.
Oh my God, we're going to get so much rage.
So much rage. Dairy, wheat, soy, and corn.
I mean, I feel like that makes sense for the things that I've learned. Eggs are a little different, but I think
eggs are a different conceptual thing.
But for the vegetarians, are going to love that.
Yeah, and as I say, you know what? Consistency, do your thing. If you are craving eggs one day, eat the eggs. Your body's craving that for a reason. But also not to take things out cold turkey-wise. Just to really try to implement more than to remove, but to be really cautious of the things you're putting in your body.
If you're doing the egg, and the thing that you said is that it helps to promote viruses and other bacteria in the body, maybe you're also going to combine maybe later that day with one of the other types of modalities that help to cleanse the body of those things. So you're balancing it out.
You're just trying to it's a balancing act. It's really trying to show the body that you're showing up for it and you're willing to do what it takes, but you're also willing to take out things that make it unhappy. Dairy is a really big one, but a lot of people are doing that now with all the almond milks and the nuts, the nut milk and the nut butter. A lot of people are on that. But it's hard when you've been programmed or conditioned to a food for your whole life and you try to remove it. It's really difficult.
When you speak to that too, the only reason that I've been able to start making some of these changes is because I got I think it was 16 or 18 pages of your customized list. So I beat down Hanna's door and I said, holistically, Hanna, I am a mama and I know some things, but I don't know what I know is outdated right now in terms of nutritional counsel. And I also have some like medical stuff and some circumstantial life stressor stuff that like doesn't make me a cookie cutter. So like, what do we do with that? And like within 2 days or less, I had this like plan that was like a whole explanation of each of my syndromes. Syndrome sounds bad, but like adrenal fatigue and all the things and what causes it and the foods that are related to it and And then the next thing, like it was really impressive the way that you're operating the customized plans. So I can personally attest to how great it felt to like have somebody hear me, have somebody really pay attention to the things that I'm struggling with, find the things that are relatable between the conditions, and then from those extract what food sources are the best to be avoided and the food sources that are the best to be strived to have more often. And then further taking those items exclusively and then providing me with customized nutrition like recipes that are just it was way more than I expected, to be honest with you. And so I now have that reference, like it's something that you just gave to me. It doesn't like just go away in 2 weeks. So I have a forever reference for myself. So if you're interested in, as she mentioned, things are very hard to change like this and to like reinvigorate. And so if you're somebody that likes to follow plans, look into places that you can get someone as knowledgeable as Hanna to guide you through this journey of change, because it is change and effort is required, and being led through that is a lot less resistance than trying to do it on your own with Dr. Google. So
Dr. Google is my worst enemy, for sure.
Playing cleanup on the back end, I bet. Yeah. Yes. So anyway, for more information, definitely check out Holistically Hanna. We'll put the QR code below. Feel free to implement any of these things that you can to improve your health. Of course, always talk to your medical team before you're changing any kind of health or wellness plans. That's something we would always advise. But make sure that you're taking away from the segment that it is not as hard as you think to eat well and to give your body the nutrition that it needs. So follow us for more tips and tricks. We'll see Hanna back soon on more segments. Yes. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Until next time, guys, put your best foot forward.